Welcome to my channel. In Today we are going to solve the inverse Z transform problem. So already in the previous video we solved one problem. So this is a second problem. Okay, so you see the question, find the inverse Z transform of x of Z equal to Z inverse divided by 1 minus 0.25 Z inverse minus 0.375 Z power minus 2. Okay, for the two condition, the first condition is that the ROC modulus of Z greater than 0.75, and the second condition is that the ROC modulus of Z less than 0.5. So under two condition we have to find the inverse Z transform. So already you know what is the use of inverse Z transform means. The inverse Z transform, it is used to convert the x of Z, that is the Z domain, into the time domain small x of n. Okay, so in order to convert the Z domain into the time domain signal x of n, we are using the transform. It is called as inverse Z transform. Okay, so we have to solve this problem under two conditions. So what are the condition given means, the first is the ROC value modulus of Z greater than some value, okay, 0.75. The second condition is that modulus of Z less than 0.5. Okay, so already you know we derived, that is the ROC properties we discussed in the first video of Z transform. So we discussed the ROC properties. Okay, so according to the ROC property, if the signal, okay, if the time domain signal is a causal signal means the ROC is modulus of Z greater than some value. Okay, that means the ROC, the region of convergence is the exterior part of circle having some radius. So according to the first condition, so our answer, okay, the answer x of n will be a causal sequence. Okay, causal sequence means what is, the signal is having value in positive time, that is the signal is multiplied with u of n, that is said to be the causal sequence. Okay, so similarly you see the second ROC modulus of Z less than 0.5. Okay, so for which type of signal the ROC value is always some less than, okay, that is less than 0.5 means it is an interior part of the circle having radius 0.5. So in which situation the ROC is like this means, if the signal, the given signal is an anti-causal signal. What is anti-causal signal? The signal is having value in negative time. Okay, that is minus infinity to minus 1. The signal is available means that signal we are calling it as an anti-causal signal. Okay, so for that signal maybe that term multiplied with u of minus n minus 1. Okay, so in the last step we have to apply these two conditions. Okay, so previously in partial fraction method as usual we have to solve the thing. Okay, so you know what is the procedure in order to solve the inverse Z transform problem. So first one, we have to write down the x of Z value. Okay, the given x of Z you just write. So in the x of Z, so there is a negative Z term is there. Okay, Z inverse. Here also Z inverse, Z power minus 2 is there. Okay, so in order to factorize this denominator polynomial, if there may be positive Z means it is easy to solve. Okay, so that's why we have to multiply both numerator and the denominator of this x of Z by Z squared. Okay, so we have to multiply both numerator and denominator by Z squared means we may get x of Z is equal to, so you see what is the numerator here, Z inverse. So Z inverse multiplied with Z squared means the answer is Z. Okay, similarly divided by this denominator, it is multiplied with Z squared. So 1 multiplied with Z squared. Then minus 0.25 Z inverse into Z square means power you have to add. So 2 minus 1 Z power 1. Similarly minus 0.375 into Z power minus 2 Z square. So Z power 0. Z power 0, it's a 1, it's a constant. Okay, so we converted the negative Z value into the positive Z powers. Okay, we converted. And you see, so here in denominator is it's a second order equation. Okay, you see the denominator polynomial. So this denominator polynomial is of the highest order Z squared. So second order polynomial. So we have to factorize this second order polynomial. So using calculator, or you may use the formula. Okay, you know for quadratic, that is the second order equation, the roots are derived by minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a formula. So using that formula or using calci, you just factorize the denominator polynomial. So we may get the two roots. Okay. So in the thing in signals and system, so the denominator polynomial, the roots of the denominator polynomial of any function, it can be said to be poles. Okay. So the first root, it can be written as p1, and the second root, it can be written as pole p2. So the first pole is 0.75 and second pole is minus 0.5. Okay. So then this z squared minus 0.25 z minus 0.375, it can be factorized as z minus 0.75 into z minus of minus 0.5. So it is z plus 0.5. So after factorizing this denominator polynomial, we may get like this. Okay. In the numerator, there is a z is there. Okay. So already before going to perform this partial fraction method, so in left side we have to keep one z in the denominator. Okay, that is we have to write the partial fraction method for x of z by z, not x of z. Okay, so that's why this z you have to keep it to the left side term. Okay, so the x of z by z, which is equal to 1 divided by this one. Okay, then in partial fraction method, so this x of z by z, that is the above equation, can be written as, so how can you write this equation in partial fraction? So a by the first value z minus 0.75 plus b divided by z plus 0.5. Okay, so you just consider this is the equation number 1. Okay, and after that, what is the next step? We have to calculate the value of this partial fraction coefficient a and b. Okay, so the procedure in order to find the partial fraction coefficient. So how to calculate a? The a is nothing but the term under a. Okay, what is the term under a? Z minus 0.75. So that z minus 0.75 multiplied with this total left-sided function. What is the total left-sided function? X of z divided by z. Okay, at the condition of the first pole, that is what is the root of this z minus 0.75? Z is equal to 0.75. So at the condition of z is equal to 0.75. Okay, so which is equal to, so z minus 0.75, and we have to substitute the value of x of z by z. So what is the x of z by z? So you see, this is the x of z by z value, 1 by z minus 0.75 into z plus 0.5. Okay, so in this, the z minus 0.75, z minus 0.75 gets cancelled. Okay, then in the remaining term, 1 by z plus 0.75, instead of z, you just substitute 0.75. So if you are substituting here means 1 by 0.75 plus 0.5. So we may get the answer as a 0.8. Okay, this is the a value. Similarly, we have to calculate the b value. What is b? What is the term under b? Z plus 0.5 multiplied with the total function x of z by z at z is equal to the, what is the root of z plus 0.5? Z is equal to minus 0.5. Okay. So similarly, you just substitute the value of x of z by z. This is the x of z by z. So in that, z plus 0.5, z plus 0.5 gets cancelled. Then in the remaining term, instead of z, you just substitute minus 0.5. So if you are substituting, we will get the answer as minus 0.8. Okay. So a calculated and the value of b is also calculated. So what is the next step? We have to substitute the value of this a and b in this equation number 1. Okay, in this partial fraction equation number 1, we have to substitute the value of a and b. Okay, so a is 0.5, b is minus 0.5. That's all. So after substituting that, so we may get x of z by z is equal to 0.8 divided by z minus 0.75 minus 0.8 divided by z plus 0.5. Okay, so that's all. Okay, and next one. So in the that is before partial fraction method, we are maintaining one z in the left side, so that is that you have to give it to, okay, after this step only, this is that you have to give it to the right side. So if you are multiplying this z to this right side means we may get x of z is equal to the constant 0.8 into z by z minus 0.75, then minus 0.8 into z by z plus 0.5. So you just consider this is the equation number 2. Okay, equation number 2. So now, so using the partial fraction method, we splitted the x of z function as a single order system functions. We splitted. Okay, that is the use of the partial fraction method. So after this step only, we are going to find the inverse z transform. Okay, so you see, what is the that is the x of z. The x of z term is having the structure is that z by z minus some constant value a. Okay, so already we solved some standard signals. Okay, so for the standard signal a power n u of n, we solved the z transform answer. So what is the answer for a power n u of n problem? So you know the a power n u of n, the exponential signal, the z transform answer is that z by z minus a. Okay, with what is the ROC? The ROC is that modulus of z greater than a. Okay, since the signal is a causal signal. Okay, causal, what is causal? The function is having the term u of n. The signal is available only for the positive time. That signal is said to be the causal signal. So you know, for a power n u of n, the z transform answer is z by z minus a. Okay, so you see, here we are getting the answer is in the structure of z by z minus a. Okay, this is the thing. And next one, so we are going to, we have to find the inverse z transform under two conditions. Okay, in a given question, they are saying it as under two ROC condition, we have to find the signal x of n. Okay, so the first one, so first we are taking the first condition. What is the first condition means? The ROC modulus of z is greater than 0.75. Okay, so modulus of z greater than 0.75. So according to this ROC statement, so we can say that, so if ROC is exterior part of some circle having radius means, so the corresponding sequence, that is the corresponding discrete time signal is compulsory a causal sequence. Okay, so in order to solve this thing, so we may use this a power n u of n standard z transform pair. Okay, so you know the standard z transform pair a power n u of n is having the z transform value z by z minus a with modulus of z greater than a. Okay, so you just compare this statement with our this x of z. Okay, so by using this, we have to take inverse z transform. Okay, we have to take inverse z transform for this equation number 2. Okay, equation number 2. So what is the inverse z transform of x of z? It is a small x of n. You see, small x of n. Then you see 0.8. It's a constant. So you keep. Then what is the inverse z transform of z by z minus 0.75? 0.75 to the power n u of n. Okay, and you see the minus 0.n you keep. Then what is the inverse z transform of z by z plus 0.5? So here this plus 0.5, it can be written as z minus 0.5. Okay, so z minus of minus 0.5 we may write. Okay, so according to this one, so z by z minus 0.5 is having the inverse z transform value is that minus 0.5 to the power n u of n. Okay, so we got the answer. This is the inverse z transform of the given capital X of z under the condition that modulus of z greater than 0.75. Okay, so this is a one signal. So you see the given signal is having the two part is having u of n value. So that's why the given this this obtained signal x of n is a causal sequence. Okay, and the next one. So in the given problem, the second question is given. The second thing is that under the ROC is modulus of z less than 0.5, we have to find the x of n value. Okay, so what is the ROC is less than some value. Okay, so for which signal the ROC is less than, that is the interior part of the circle having radius some a, you know, that signal is an anti-causal signal. Okay, already we derived this problem. Okay, so we calculated this anti-causal sequence, causal sequence, for all sequence we derived the Z transform problem, okay, in the previous videos. Okay, so you check in the signals and system playlist, okay, in the 4th unit, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, all videos are 4th unit videos. So you check these all problems are solved in that one. Okay, so according to that one, so you know minus a power n u of minus n minus 1. Okay, so this is a one type of exponential signal, but this exponential signal is only available for the negative time. Okay, since this a power minus a power n is multiplied with u of minus n minus 1. So u of minus n minus 1 means the signal is available only for the negative time minus infinity to minus 1. Okay, so that's why you know the Z transform of this answer is that same Z by Z minus A, but the ROC is that modulus of Z less than A. Okay, so this is the difference between these two things. So you see a power n u of n signal is having the Z transform answer same Z by Z minus A, and minus a power n u of minus n minus 1 problem is also having the Z transform answer same answer. But what is the difference means ROC is different. Okay, if it is a causal sequence, ROC is exterior part of circle, that is modulus of Z greater than A. If it is an anti-causal sequence, the modulus of Z less than A. Okay, this is the difference between the two signals. Okay, so according to this statement, so we have to take inverse Z transform of our this equation number 2. Okay, so we have to take inverse Z transform of equation number 2. So we may get what is the inverse Z transform of x of Z? X of n. Okay, which is equal to 0.8 into inverse Z transform of Z by Z minus A. So you see Z by Z minus A is having the inverse Z transform is that minus a power n. So what is the value of a here? 0.75. So here minus, okay, so minus. So I put minus here. So minus 0.75 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. Okay. Similarly, minus 0.8 into inverse Z transform of Z by Z plus 0.5. Okay. So as per this property, so we may get minus, okay, minus, that is already here one minus is, this minus is there. Okay, in the inverse Z transform again one minus will come, minus of minus 0.5 to the power n. So this minus of minus, it is converted into here plus. Okay, so plus 0.8 minus 0.5 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. Okay, so this is the answer for the second ROC, modulus of Z less than 0.5. Okay, so here you see both the signals are anti-causal signals. Okay, so for that signal only the ROC condition is that interior part of some radius. Okay, modulus of Z less than 0.5. Okay, so we may get the two answers. Okay, so this is a one type of Z transform problem. Okay, in the previous problem, okay, in the previous video we solved this December 2017 problem. In that there may be only one condition is given, modulus of Z greater than 0.3. So if modulus of Z greater than some value given means we may use only the formula a power n u of n formula we have to use. Okay, but in the second problem we have to find inverse Z transform of this x of Z under two condition. Okay, so if modulus of Z greater than some value means, so we have to use the standard Z transform pair a power n u of n. Okay, if modulus of Z less than some value means we may use the formula minus a power n u of minus n minus 1 thing. Okay, so using this you study this problem. Okay, so thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe my channel for more videos. And if you are liking this video means you click the like button. Okay, thank you.